Welcome to Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside DAWG.
Mike, it is good to see you, and today you are a Super Bowl winner. You are decked out for the viewers. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. It was an incredibly boring game to sit through.
Oh my God. So bad, right? Like the worst Super Bowl we could imagine.
This is like what we did not want. And we had a few people over. James was sick, so we tried to limit who was over. Everybody was just on their phone the entire time. Like, guys, get off your phone. We're watching the Super Bowl here. And Seahawks are winning. Everybody's just scrolling on their phone, just on Instagram instead of watching the game. Very boring. We got what we didn't want. We got the Rams-Patriots game from 4 years ago or something.
It was worse than that. This was more lopsided. At least that Rams-Patriots game we mentioned last week was 13-3 or so. It was one possession all the way through. Boring game. I'm thinking back. I can't think of one play that was great or cool or notable. I can't. I mean, the defensive touchdown, those things happen in the NFL. It wasn't amazing. It was just a good play.
The fumbles,
congrats to you.
I'm
happy for you. You've been through the NFC West. You've had allegiances over the years. You went to the AFC West at one point. You went Raiders. Help me out. Bail me out of the Seahawks misery. And here you are as a Seahawks champ day after the Super Bowl. And this is the morning. Folks, this is the morning time for us. It's 8 a.m. for Mike, 11 a.m. for me. We both are on little sleep after our big nights.
Yeah, you had a big night. You were out until 3 a.m., so that's big for you. So we're here early. I'm excited. We got official swag, by the way. Look at this. Sports Hangover, Seahawks sweater. I got jerseys in the back.
Where can people get that, Mike?
TheSportsHangover.com. Just head over there. You can't get this hat, though. This is a nice Kith hat, which great hat.
What are the logos on the side of the hat? Is that an NFL logo? NFC.
NFC, got the Kith logo over there. It's great.
Rock the NFC logo.
I will say, gambling on the game, I'm glad I didn't gamble too much on the game. The only big bet that I did throw out that I did love actually hit. Kenneth Walker, MVP. It was a run game. Because by the half, you're like, no one else did anything else. He had as many rush yards as the entire team had pass receiving yards. It was great. No Bobo touchdown, though.
Kenneth Walker jersey behind you. Very impressive that you called that last week. You called the MVP bet. Listen, we are a betting show throughout the season. We have ups and downs. But if you listened to last week's show and followed our thoughts and followed our bets,
it was great.
You might be a millionaire today. You might be one of the richest people you know. Because we got everything right last week. Everything we talked about. The Kenneth Walker MVP. The quarterbacks would struggle. No one can score on the Seahawks defense. The Patriots offense is fraudulent. These were all talking points last week, Mike. They all came true today. We even said we're not excited for the Super Bowl. It might not be a good game. And that turned out to be true too.
Well, let's talk about the frauds of the Patriots. I feel like this was something we mentioned.
So fraudulent. Yes.
All year long. We're like, they're frauds. Easy schedule. Look at the playoffs. They're playing no quarterback in Denver. They're playing no offensive line in broken hand. Justin Herbert. This was a cakewalk in. The Seahawks actually proved themselves along the way. And then they got there and it's like, oh, good thing we didn't vote in Drake May for MVP because he actually couldn't score on the Seahawks when Stafford actually could score on the Seahawks. They're frauds and they got there and they're lucky. And, it's just getting there. That's a big thing, too. You just got to get there sometimes. They're there. We'll see if he goes back. But I will say at the beginning of this season, when we talked about the new Pope, it came true.
That's
Jeremy.
Right. The Roman omen, as NBC called it.
It is the craziest stat and trend line that continues on. So I hope there's a new Pope soon. Hopefully this guy doesn't look like
we
he's
don't want
ill.
to. Yeah, he's young. He's a young Pope. He's from America. We don't want to boot him out already. What are you saying?
But isn't it crazy how many times there has been a new Pope in the last 20 years? It seems like way too many. I was talking about that last
times.
night.
And the Seahawks have made the Super Bowl all 3 times. They've won 2 of the 3. So they don't always win it, but they always make it. So that's Mike, number 1.1 in your manifesto. If there's a new Pope, bet on the Seahawks to reach the Super Bowl. It's guaranteed. No trend line is more important than that right now.
It is the greatest trend line. I was so excited. It's almost like sometimes you don't believe these trends and you're like, oh, I don't know. But this one, I 100%. If in 20 years there's another Pope, I'm blindly betting Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. I will be
now
there.
the issue is the Seahawks look really good. Mike McDonald, a good up-and-coming head
Great.
coach. They have Sam Darnold for future years. They might go back and win more Super Bowls before there's a new pope. So I don't know how that affects things. Like, they also go when there's not a new pope. That could confuse things a little bit.
It could affect it a little bit.
We'll see what happens. I actually have odds for next year's Super Bowl I want to talk about on today's show and get your thoughts
I couldn't
on.
find any last night.
No, I found them. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Keep
Okay.
recapping for now. Amazing call on the Kenneth Walker MVP. You bet on that. I bet on that. I bet on the Seahawks money line. Got that right. Bet on the under in the game. It was actually in it almost changed at the end of the game.
Yeah, it
with
almost
some
did
late
change
scores.
a little bit, yeah.
Like, the Patriots were being shut out. I was walking around my office building last night saying, the Pats are going to be shut out. First team ever not going to score in the Super Bowl. How sick is that? Because there are some Boston people around up here in the Northeast. And
I'm sure.
I just don't want the Patriots fans to be happy at all. One, they had Tom Brady for all those years. Two, I'm a Dolphins fan in their division. Three, Boston's close to New York, and they're just annoying in general. I don't want the Pats fans to be happy at all. So I was actively rooting for the Seahawks last night. For you and anti-Pats.
The game was boring. I felt kind of like Sam Darnold could have done a little more. Like, it seemed like they were making sure that he couldn't do anything, but also he was getting rushed a lot, but not getting sacked like Drake May. You would see it. He would throw it at the last minute. May would just go ahead and get sacked. The game, it was just like you follow every play and you're like, there's not a lot going on here. It almost, to me, I don't even know how they scored 29 points. Like, it was like something where you're like, what? How did all these points get scored? Like, this
Kenneth
game,
Walker, your MVP.
I know.
It was not a good Super Bowl. I can't remember a worse Super Bowl, honestly. Like, the production was great. I want to talk about halftime, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things around the game that were great. The stadium vibe seemed good. Green Day opening up,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. The actual game, I can't remember a worse Super Bowl. And we did talk about that last week, saying, I'm not even jacked for it. You were excited as a Seahawks fan. I was like, this matchup, uninspiring. It's the quarterbacks, too. We want good quarterback play in the Super Bowl. You want storylines. So many shows the last few weeks of the playoffs and the season, Mike, I talked about legacies. Legacy on the line. Josh Allen legacy. All these different guys, legacy moments. Caleb Williams. I don't know if there was a legacy
Jeremy,
in the Super Bowl.
There's literally there's the best legacy you could ever think of.
The Pope?
A guy that got drafted to the New York Jets, who went through the Carolina Panthers, the 49ers, the Minnesota Vikings, who let them go last year and then came to Seattle and won a Super Bowl. I mean, this guy's been around. Remember, we thought he was seeing ghosts and he had mono for the first. We have a podcast 10 years ago talking about his mono.
That was a real thing.
That's a real thing.
There's a lot of barriers to winning in New York. No one wins in New York. They always succeed out of the Jets, and we love that about the Jets because you know you're going to have a better career when you leave. It's like guaranteed at this point. I do have a problem. This might be a hot take, a controversial take today. I have a problem giving Sam Darnold all the flowers because I'm not sure he really deserves it. You look at what he did throughout the playoffs. The Niners game, they played against an injured, depleted team.
Sure.
They didn't even need Sam Darnold to win that game. Against the Rams, he made some big plays. They almost lost the game. He didn't come out and win it for them. And then in this Super Bowl, you just said it. He had one touchdown. It wasn't even an amazing play or anything. He didn't play that great. He didn't win MVP, which normally the quarterback does. You put Sam Darnold on any other team without a different defense, he's not in this position. So, Sam, I'm happy for him that he won. It's not like, Sam, you're amazing. You're one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't think anyone's saying
But it was a defensive head-to-head battle, right? Like, that's all it was. And I think ultimately Sam Darnold, obviously we're losing offensive coordinator. He's going to Vegas next year.
To your other team. So
I mean, the Raiders, it's just like a retirement home for all the Seattle players. They're all
Seattle South, better climate. That's where they go.
I mean, look, Sam Darnold didn't perform well, but they won the game. They didn't make any mistakes. He didn't fumble the ball. He didn't do anything dumb. There was almost that check down where I thought he was going to do something the Broncos did, where it's like I don't know.
He was running. Sam Darnold was running. He could have kept running. He threw it out to the left, and I don't know if it was a catch or not. Still, I think Kenneth Walker caught it, but I don't know for sure.
But there was so Kenneth Walker, first running back. I mean, the odds should have been even higher for what I bet on. But first running back since
What were the
1998.
odds? What'd you get him at?
I think it was only like 6-1 or something, like plus 650. But it was the first running back since 1998 to get the MVP, which is kind of huge. And he's not a very big spoken guy. He was very soft spoken. He's just like, I thank God and my boys, and that was it. And he's just like, get me off the stage.
You completely nailed it last week talking about the quarterbacks aren't going to win MVP. We're talking about non-quarterbacks MVPs. We talked about like defensive guys, but they were kind of unanimous. So like you don't know, or anonymous, you don't know who it could have been. So on offense, it had to kind of be the running backs if it's not going to be the quarterback. I sprinkled a little JSN MVP, but it's like it was always unlikely because if JSN puts up 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, that means Darnold also did that, right? And so like Darnold's going to be the guy. And so Kenneth Walker made perfect sense. Again, you nailed it last week on the show. And the Charbonnet injury, they had to go to Kenneth. There's no next week. You might as well feed him. And they did. The whole game plan on offense was Kenneth. It's like every time they drop back to throw, it's almost like we don't want to, but it's third down and we have to. And they threw it to Kenneth a lot of times anyway. Great performance by him after Chardonnay really took over his job throughout the season. So a nice comeback there.
Yeah, I mean, I will say they were split 50-50 pretty even throughout the season. It's just like I feel like when you're the main guy, you get a lot more reps and a lot more opportunities to see what's going to happen throughout the game. So I'm excited. This is great. Jeremy, you don't understand how much swag I bought last night. I'm going to have a new Seahawks banner right behind me.
Last night after the game?
Yeah, last night after the game, I was just online. I'm like, hold on, I got to buy some stuff. Want some squares, just random things. So it'll be good. We'll have some new decorations.
Mike, you won a square too. That was great.
Yeah.
Like for your team to be in the Super Bowl and you're winning squares, that's how you know it's actually your night. And so
I
great
loved
for
it.
you. You're in LA. It's 8:09 a.m. right now.
Yeah.
I know Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker are going to Disneyland today. Why don't you get your son in the car and drive to Anaheim and go meet the Seahawks at Disneyland right now?
Well, you know what I regret, Jeremy? I kept looking at tickets. I was like asking people like, hey, you think I could get tickets? Because part of me was I should have went to the game because when's the next time Seattle will be there? Like if Miami ever goes to Super Bowl, you should say, I don't care what the price is. I need to go because this could be once in a lifetime or it could happen 20 times like the Patriots. I should have went. Aaron told me, so when I was looking, it was $10,000 all week long. The night before it dropped to $3,000. I was like, I would have gone for $3,000. I would have driven that morning, went to Santa Clarita, and just been there and watched the game. I would have.
You would have gone for $3,000. That was your number. That's still a lot for a ticket.
I think anything under five, I would have went because it's like once in a lifetime. But if I spread it out over the next 60 years and Seattle never gets there, I'm gonna regret that I never went to the Super Bowl. And I've never been to a Super Bowl, so.
I like the idea that we'll attend a Super Bowl in our lives. The older we get, the more rich and famous we'll get. We'll have more opportunities for that, Mike.
Netflix money.
Yeah, our teams will no doubt be there. The Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in my freaking lifetime, so they're bound to go to a Super Bowl at some point in the second half of my life. And your team is coached by Mike McDonald, the new genius of the NFL, so you'll have another chance to go too. I don't know. I guess 3,000 you can justify like 2,000 for the game, 1,000 for a Bad Bunny concert. It's like you can justify. There's a lot going on there. It's 3,000 is not bad.
Well,
10,000 is ridiculous.
But Jeremy, next year, Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl in LA. It's going to be here in LA.
It is.
Would you not pay $10,000 to go see them in the Super Bowl and say, hey, this could only happen once in my life? They've only been to the playoffs, when at your bar mitzvah 20 years ago. So Jesus, it's like you got to do, even to go see a playoff game would be exciting for you.
Well, I know coming to LA, I have a free place to stay, so that is a reason. I get to save a few hundred on the hotel, so that's a reason to spend $10,000. That's my commitment to you, Mike. If I can get a Dolphins ticket in LA next year for $10,000 or under, I'm there.
Are you going to be here for a playoff game if it was with the Chargers next year?
I like the Rams better than the Chargers.
I know, but the Chargers are AFC, so you're not going to play a playoff game against the Chargers.
That's true. That's true. Not till the Super Bowl. You mentioned the Rams and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
We said that too. The NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. The Rams were the second best team in the NFL, and that was a talking point throughout the playoffs. We kind of knew that was coming. And again, the Patriots so fraudulent. I would not be surprised. Another hot take from me. I would not be surprised if Drake May never makes it back to the Super Bowl, because I'm not sure he should have been in this Super Bowl. So what's telling you that he should be in future Super Bowls? The AFC is lit up like a Christmas tree with quarterbacks, and Drake May is not necessarily in the top 3 or 5 of AFC quarterbacks. Still, at this point, he had a bad playoff run. The Chargers, the Texans, the Broncos, the Seahawks. He played elite defenses. But he played terribly in all 4 playoff games. They just happened to win the first 3.
I don't want to defend them. I mean, you could listen back to every single podcast for the last 20 weeks.
You were early on them.
I was calling them all frauds. You did. They were frauds. But I will say their defense was good, and that's what helped Drake May. And defense does help a newer quarterback to come in the league. I don't think he's never going to be back there. I think he's going to understand and learn from this. He's young. I mean, he's 23 years old, Jeremy. What were you doing at 23? We were like
hosting this podcast with you.
Yeah, we were like getting drunk and sleeping in the same bed together in Vegas.
Whoa.
Well, you know what I mean. We're like, just doing random stuff. And Drake May's a quarterback. I feel like you're not there yet. Give him until he's like 25, 26. He'll get there.
He does look like a high schooler. He has a bad haircut. Like he has some maturing to do, some growing up to do. But maybe like his innocence will be lost as he does that. Maybe like he'll be seeing ghosts. I don't know that he'll ever be back. Vrabel and the Patriots, great machine. You look around the AFC, and I want to get to these odds in a moment after we wrap up the game. There's other teams ahead of the Patriots in the AFC more favored than them, which I'm excited to talk about.
I did pull up Super Bowl champ, but we can pull that up too. All right, we want to talk about Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny. I like the performance, getting a lot of hate online. A lot of people turn it off to watch Kid Rock on YouTube, whatever all that commotion was about. I like Bad Bunny. Did I understand what he was saying? No, I don't speak Spanish. Did I enjoy the music? Yes. Was it fun? Was it vibrant? Mike, as a cinema person, as a producer in the business, they basically did a live music video on the field for 15 minutes. The set design was incredible. The visuals, the movement, the up and down on the building. I was so impressed with the show in general without understanding anything he said. Yeah,
didn't understand anything he said. Very impressive. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was moving. My kid was dancing.
He was. That's awesome.
He loved the music. It was fun. It was like, I thought it was a million times better than Kendrick Lamar the previous year. Not a big fan.
And you like rap too.
I do. And I just didn't think Kendrick, I mean, this is the problem with the last two. No one could name a song from Bad Bunny, right? I don't even know why the NFL even put this on their media. On their social media, they went around to all the players, said, "What's your favorite Bad Bunny song?" It's like, I can't name any.
Despacito, is that one of them?
I think that's actually a Justin Bieber song.
Oh god.
But that's the thing. It's like, we don't really know who they are, but they are very popular and they get a lot of streams. And Apple's got all the data. It's like, if Bad Bunny's getting the most streams in the world, you put Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl stage and let him perform, and he did a great job. I mean, it was great. I didn't understand a word he was saying, but I was like, this is great.
We didn't have to, right? Like, there's certain Spanish performances where, like, you would feel lost without understanding what he was saying. I felt like it was just a fun vibe. Like, he's having a good time. He's partying. His music sounds fun. It's like, that's what the vibe is. You could, like, pick up on that very easily, which transcends languages. Yeah,
and you know what's funny? My nanny came in today, and she was talking. She's Mexican, and she was talking about it. She's like, he made me feel so pumped up. He really inspired us in the Latin community. I was like, this is great. Like, she took something totally different because she could understand. And I was like, it's a great performance. And it's just cool how everybody could appreciate what he did. So I thought it was great.
And he nailed it. He had no issues, like a lot of movement for him. He was climbing a power utility pole at one point, going up and down the building, falling through.
I thought, who would let that man climb up the utility pole? I was like,
I was kind of nervous. If there's like a blast of wind, like the show's over and like the lights go dark, it would have been.
He didn't have anything hooked up to him. Yeah,
no, he went Alex Honnold. He free solo up that power line. That was impressive. What about the cameos? We saw Lady Gaga. I thought it was her at first, but I was like, wait, is that really Lady Gaga? Inside?
That was.
It was, but I wasn't convinced of it
at
Lady
first
because she's speaking English. That's what I'm saying. The cameos, she performed. In the halftime show, but we didn't know she was coming, so it was a surprise. And then Ricky Martin, I'm pretty sure that was Ricky Martin. I haven't even confirmed this.
He looked good. He looked really good.
He looked much younger than he did last time I saw him. So like, there's something happening there.
Whatever he's on, I want, because I think
he's on the peptides. I think it's clear.
Ricky looks really good. He's looking really good right now. I was confused by the Lady Gaga. It's like, why does everybody like Lady Gaga? Why does everybody put Lady Gaga in everything? That confused me.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater. I think she's over. Like, me and Aaron hear this Abracadabra song, and we saw it premiere last year at the Grammys, and we're like, this sucks. And then this year she wins a Grammy for it, and we're like, who's listening to Lady Gaga? That's what I'm wondering. And why is she at the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny? That confused the hell out of me.
But they were dancing, like salsa dancing together. Bad Bunny embraced her, and that worked out. I'm going to say 8.5 out of 10 on halftime shows. One of the better ones of the last few years.
Yeah, you know what I liked? It was quick. It was short. There was like not too many cameos because it almost reminds me of the one with like Dr. Dre and Eminem and all that stuff. There's like so much going on that you couldn't even like follow.
Yeah.
But this one was good. I liked it. It was just like very well thought out. So yeah, I'll give it the same. I don't know. I got to look back at all the other ones too, because I thought The Weeknd was really good too.
The mirrors, I got lost in those mirrors in Tampa. Remember that? Like he was
Yeah.
making us dizzy in those
Yeah.
mirrors.
I remember that.
The Eminem show you reminded me, was that in Detroit possibly? That was a great show with all those like rap icons and hip hop icons. That was a really good one. Even though it was like a little crazy and like people were popping up out of everywhere, that might have been the best one of recent memory.
Well, talking about like millennial stuff, did you see all the commercials? Which was nice this time. There's not many people, so I could hear everything going on.
Yeah, by the way, I didn't attack this with you. I didn't know your son was sick. Did you keep a lot of people out of your house? Did you have a smaller party? Did this work out for you?
Four people. It was great.
Oh my God. That seems
But
like
I will say the 4 people that were there, if you're listening, they sat on their phones the entire time, and I kept yelling at them, "Get off your phone! We're watching the Super Bowl." So
I'm afraid
friend,
even if it was
like
a great game, if it was a great game, I think people would still be stuck on their phone. That's America in 2026.
I know, but the millennial stuff. Did you see like all the like weird cameos for the Dunkin' Donut Ben Affleck commercial? Did you see that one?
I'll be honest, I could not pay attention to commercials with my role in the Super Bowl last night.
Oh, you were busy. You were working last night. Yeah,
I
so
was working, man.
things were going well.
Big week for one company.
But it was a lot of millennial that you could tell they were definitely targeting our audience. We are now the old people buying stuff, and they're targeting millennials. 100%.
We have spending power. That's how it happens. Kind of like 35 to 50 is the people who have houses and families and money to spend in general. I did not see the commercial, but I'm aware of an Andy Cohen Nerds Gummy Cluster commercial, a new candy, and I did purchase Nerds Gummy Clusters to make sure I could try them. They're unbelievable, Mike.
Wow,
They're like they're like little gushers inside. They're gooey. They kind of spit juice out. The Nerds bites, those Nerds, whatever they're called, balls, they've come so far. And this new juicy gummy cluster with Andy Cohen Super Bowl commercial, those are next level.
That's great. Yeah, didn't try those. Didn't sell me on that one.
But I didn't see many commercials. I have to catch up on that. Any other props that you hit? Anything else you were proud of from the game?
Honestly, like I was hoping to get the exact number, but once all the numbers got all weird and like 29,
nines and sixes and twos.
Yeah, they got weird. So no, didn't hit any of those. I was mad because at halftime, I'm like, I should have listened to Jeremy. I should have put a low score as a prediction because it was 9, right? It was 9-0.
9-0. It was looking like a shutout. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is not good. Like I should have bet something, but I'm glad some points were scored. No other. I didn't bet a lot. I just wanted the money line.
You gave me something last week, like no scoring in the first quarter or no touchdown scoring in the first quarter. That would have hit because there was no touchdown in the first half.
I said 0-0 first quarter, but yeah, you could have put the under. If you hit unders on anything in the first half or first quarter, second quarter, you would have hit it because it would have been. Nothing was happening.
Which is another thing to add to the manifesto. Teams always come out tight in the Super Bowl. They're nervous. They haven't played for 2 weeks. No one's like putting out a high-flying offense in the first half of a Super Bowl. So that's something to keep hammering unders in the first half of games, I think.
Yeah. I mean, next year it's going to be in LA. I'm excited. I'm starting work today to try to get free tickets. That is my mission and goal for next year. I want 2 tickets to the Super Bowl here in LA. I don't care who's playing. I want to
Mike and J-Dawg, the Sports Hangover host. Aaron staying home with James.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron.
Sorry, Aaron. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
I've been around longer than her, so we have to go to the Super Bowl. That would be great. And who's gonna play in the game is a big question. So I have some odds here. I want to share with you and get your thoughts about this 2026-27 Super Bowl season. Who is going to win the Super Bowl? The favorites. There are co-favorites. The Seahawks are one of them. But they are not the only favorite. The Rams are right there. They're both plus 950, 9.5 to 1, essentially. What do you think about the Seahawks not being the sole number one team after that dominant performance?
So what are the odds for the Rams and the Seattle right now?
Plus 950.
Okay, so they're both plus 9. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. So they're both plus 950.
Yeah, so that's my first question. Are you feeling disrespected by the Seahawks not being ahead of the Rams?
No, because I think the Rams know who they are, and they're not really losing any, right? They're not losing any coaching staff, are they? They're adding to the coaching staff. Didn't they just get Matt LaFleur over there or something?
The Rams lost a LaFleur to the Cardinals to be a head coach, but they have some other coaching. I mean, McVay never has a shortage of coaches there.
So, listen, the Rams were great this year. Yeah. I'm worried about the Seahawks offense. If it dips a little, who's going to take over as offensive coordinator? It's also hard to do a repeat. Like, you haven't seen a lot of teams do it. I would actually give them better, like give them a plus, like, I don't know, 1,100 or something, or put them in that Buffalo Bills range a little bit. I'm worried what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I think Rams blatantly are the better team going into next year right now.
Wow, for you to say that. Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks ago, the Seahawks kind of beat the Rams handily in the end of that game and kind of made it clear that they're the best team in the NFC. So we'll see.
I just think I got to add to the manifesto. When you lose your offensive coordinator, shit hits the fan because all of a sudden, is Sam Darnold have enough time back there to throw? Does he have the check downs? Does he have all this? So add that to the manifesto.
I like that.
I mean, I have the one we talked about this a few weeks ago about we looked into the second-year coach, right? Add a new franchise or a second-year QB that could take them all the way. And I have pinpointed my team for the Super Bowl next year to win the Super Bowl already. Oh, wow. If you want to bet it early, I am betting it right now.
Yeah, today's a great day to bet on next year's Super Bowl.
Today, next year, your Jacksonville Jaguars will be in the Super Bowl. Now, I bet this many years in a row, but this is the second year with the Duval coach. I don't know his name, but he will be there. Yes, he will be there for his second year, and it seems like second-year coaches. We got Mike McDonald, second-year head coach. Oh, yeah. He's going there. Vrabel. So there's a lot of options that are going to be happening next year. So I'm going to look into that a little more. I'm going to give you a full report in off season, and I'm going to start betting these before some things change. But I do have Jacksonville Jaguars plus 2,200 to win the Super Bowl right now.
Good odds. That you could argue the Jags should have been in this Super Bowl. They ran into the Bills. They were a buzzsaw. That was a great game in the first round of the playoffs. A bad matchup for both teams because I was saying at the time the winner of Bills-Jags was going to the Super Bowl way back when. Obviously, I missed on the Bills. But, Mike, I am here to talk about the odds of the AFC teams to make the Super Bowl because after the Rams, the Bills are 11-1 to win the Super Bowl ahead of the Patriots at 13-1. I feel vindicated for weeks and weeks on this show. Josh Allen and the Bills, the best team in the AFC, the team that's going to the Super Bowl, and now Vegas, the ones who know more than anyone, are telling you next year the Bills are in front of the Pats to set up and go back to the Super Bowl and win it. I'm surprised by it, but I'm also not because I think the Bills are better positioned than the Pats to go next.
So we have a first-year head coach coming into the Buffalo. Yeah, I think that goes against the trend of a team going to the Super Bowl. Usually, first-year head coaches don't go to the Super Bowl, so it could be a good year for them. But also, Josh has a lot of issues in the playoffs. He can't win those games. He might be haunted. He might see ghosts. He might be turning into a pumpkin during the playoffs. It might be too long for him.
He did have 4 turnovers in that game they lost against the Broncos. Good. If he simply had 3, they would have won the game in regulation and not gone to overtime and lost. I was just really surprised to see that the Pats were below the Bills, which I think, again, goes back to our idea that the Pats were fraudulent this year. They shouldn't have been there. There was no dominant team in the NFL. Even the Seahawks, for as good as they were, not like this dominant team that you're used to, the Chiefs over the years, right? Even the Eagles in recent years when they would win. And the Pats certainly weren't on that level. And so it's kind of wide open going into next year at this point. I think the Jags are a great bet. Maybe the Bills are a good bet. We'll see.
So, I mean, this is a bet I do not want to make. But seeing the Chicago Bears there, second-year head coach.
Oh, my God. Second-year head coach.
Plus 1,300 to win the Super Bowl, or at least, I mean, that's pretty good.
You want to sprinkle on that?
I'm going to sprinkle on that. What about the Dallas Cowboys, the second-year head coach for, what's his name?
Schottenheimer. I don't think we have to bet on the Cowboys.
We don't want to bet on the Cowboys?
The Super Bowl. I don't think anyone believes Jerry can build a Super Bowl roster without Micah Parsons, right?
Tampa still has the same guy, right? They didn't fire him, did they?
They should have, but they didn't.
They fired everybody else except for him.
True.
Commanders, do we have same head coach?
Dan Quinn will be like his third year head coach. It's too long.
Vikings, they've messed up. They're never going to do it. Falcons just got a new head coach. Giants just got it. Giants with Harbaugh?
I like Jackson Dart. I mean, Harbaugh almost bucks the first-year head coach trend because he's been a head coach in the league for 20 years. So he almost ruins that, and maybe you can bet on them, but not confidence that Jackson Dart and Neighbors are too young to go to the Super Bowl probably.
Well, I also think, I don't know if this is a real I got to go back to my data sheet, but I swear I saw no second-time head coaches. If you've already been a head coach and this is your second time being head coach, you will have not won a Super Bowl being a second-time head coach.
Mike Vrabel was a second-time head coach.
He was. And he got to the Super Bowl.
He got there.
He didn't win it.
He's fraudulent in getting there. Good job by Mike Vrabel and the Patriots. They should be happy with how far they got with that team. Good defense, obviously. But again, not in a normal year, they're not in the Super Bowl because there's better teams in the AFC. And all these AFC quarterbacks that we talk about all season on the show that drive the ratings and the clicks on our socials, the Lamars, the Joe Burrows, the Herberts, all these stars, Mahomes is going to come back strong from injury. That's who Drake May and the Patriots have to get past. That's really tough in a normal year. It was a very fluky year how all those quarterbacks got hurt, were bad, missed the playoffs. That's not going to happen again.
This is something we can dive into in the offseason, but do you think the extra. Aren't there going to be 9 overseas games this next season? Right?
Yeah, almost everyone's playing in one. There's a Australia. Oh my God, there's
the Australian
Mexico,
game is going to
Brazil.
mess. That time is not fun at all. Like I think this is going to affect a lot more teams. I guess if everybody's doing it, but it also depends on when your bye is, how early in the season. I'd rather go overseas right away. Like get it over with. Don't do it 7 weeks in when I'm exhausted and I haven't had a break yet.
Well, they normally go, like the Brazil game recently has been the first week of the year. So maybe the Australia thing will be early in the season, get it over with. And it's 2 West Coast teams, maybe a little easier than like flying from Florida or New York to Australia.
I think it's still like a 16-hour time zone difference. Like that's insane from over here. Like how do you
getting crazy with those time zones? That's far away.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Aaron about this and I was like, they're going to try to push some more games overseas. And she's like, this isn't the International Football League. This is the NFL. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Makes sense.
I mean, Roger would tell you it's the International Football League. He would tell you that the way it's going. It's funny that she said that. It's really a global game, and Bad Bunny performing and listing all the countries in Central and South America are part of the global game. And so the NFL is clearly going in that direction.
Well, I got nothing else, Jeremy. I know we're going to take a little Olympic break, but we can come back and talk. I might jump on by myself and just do some hockey bets because I think there's going to be some hockey.
Olympic hockey bets?
Yeah, I might do some Olympic hockey bets.
Are you excited for Olympic hockey? Well, before we go, the Olympics are happening. Lindsey Vonn, ACL. We did find out that you do, in fact, need an ACL to compete in big-time sports.
100%, yes.
So that's important going forward. Keep your ACL or don't race. But I'm glad that she gave it a shot. Feel bad for her. I'm excited for the big snow era still to come, some big snowboarding, some big skiing. Mike, they're going so fast on those downhill skiing, like 80 miles an hour. And the drone behind them, this new view we have this year, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the drone behind the downhill skiers really shows you how fast they're actually going. Check that out if you can. It's crazy. But are you excited for Olympic hockey?
I'm there's nothing going to be much else on right now. Like we're almost getting into some playoff hockey over here. We're going to watch some Olympic hockey. I will say also, I was skiing last week. My max speed was 38 miles an hour downhill. I
mean, that's pretty good, honestly. Seems like pretty fast.
Half of an Olympian speed, right? Close enough.
Olympian women's speed, yeah. The men will go a little faster. They will. But seriously, the men's downhill, when that gets going, check out some drone videos. Going behind them and the point of view of it. Yeah. Imagine going 3 times as fast as you were going. I know it felt fast at 35 miles an hour. When you drive a car with the window open, right, it feels fast. And so like skiing is much more than that.
Well, also it's just like I'm scared to hurt my body so I don't come back with like broken bones. So yeah, it's pretty scary.
It's the biggest thing as an adult skiing. Don't get hurt.
Do not get hurt. I'm excited. This is great. We ended the season on a high note. We haven't done this in a while.
Morning podcast. We love it.
And this is the greatest thing ever.
And you're taking your son to Disneyland. This is
We're not going to Disneyland, but this is all I ever wanted, Jeremy. Early morning podcast. We finally did it.
Yes.
We're here.
In your gear. Go to thesportshangover.com. Get your Seahawks Super Bowl gear. Support Mike. Support the podcast. Support the NFC West. I think the Seahawks are here to stay.
Support the whole NFC West.
You always have.
Support all the teams, just not the Cardinals.
Exactly.
Good show. Check out our Substack. We'll still be doing some write-ups. Maybe I'll be doing some like early previews of the NFC, the AFC, stuff like that. We put a lot of content last year on our Substack, so go there. A lot of written content too, not only just our faces all the time. There's other written content. Our Twitter's popping off on X. We're tweeting a lot of stats, all stats this week, game stats, great stuff.
Helping people make money.
Almost convinced myself to switch my pick to the
your
Patriots.
Twitter account almost changed your mind. All right, I'm glad football season's over for you. You need a break.
The stats I was looking at, I was like, oh my god, like everything points to Drake May just dominating this game, and
you need a break.
Can I even tell you this? I subscribe to other professional gamblers and getting their insights. Every single one of them said this is a game Drake May dominates. This is a game that we will not see Sam Darnold perform well and do anything. Everybody blatantly was like, do Drake May over 300 yards, do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I started getting nervous and I'm seeing my own data. I'm glad they were all wrong, but it shows you that sometimes the data doesn't match up with who you're competing against. And I think that's a big thing. Going forward, we gotta look at that too, because we have our own AI model as well.
I know yours is right up there with the best experts in the world.
Of course, yeah.
You're right. I think it was a crazy year, and I think people got it wrong on Drake May. So we'll see what next year brings.
All right, good show. See you, John.
Congrats, Mike.
See ya. Bye.